Hey guys, what's going on? It's Colin here again. Back with another fan video. Another childhood fan video, actually. This is a 1990s, I'm guessing, Lakewood 223 box fan. And it's in pretty tough shape, but it's still a major childhood fan for me. The story behind this one is, well, this one in particular I found at a thrift store a couple years ago. And when I finally saw it, I really couldn't turn it down because there's a story behind why I wanted one of these, which is that my grandpa had one when I was a kid. I found it up in their attic when I was crawling around one time, and it was just sitting face down in the insulation without a front grill. And nobody could remember what happened to the front grill. So, needless to say, I grabbed it out of there and plugged it in and ran fine, of course. And that thing was a good fan. I honestly do not remember what happened to it. I'm guessing it got junked, but I don't think I did it. I honestly don't remember. But I played with that thing all the time. I made up a front grill out of like window screen mesh because my parents wouldn't really let me run it without that. At some point I wrapped the whole cord in electrical tape because I wanted it to be a black cord instead of a white. I don't really know why, but I was pretty young. Probably, I don't know, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, no more than third grade. But yeah, at some point the switch went bad, so I replaced it with a toggle switch, and it was just used like crazy, and I just played with it like crazy. And like I said, I honestly do not remember what happened to it, but my feeling is, seeing as though it's not still around, it got either broken or junked, but I don't think it was necessarily me that did it. I don't think I would have thrown it away. Probably got thrown away on me, but I don't really know. But anyways, like I said, I saw this at a thrift store a couple of years ago. I think I found this at the same time I found that Sears table fan, and if I remember correctly, I paid $10 or less for this, which was probably about what it's worth because it's pretty crusty. It's kind of like the one my grandpa used to have. There's just a lot of surface rust on everything, especially inside the cabinet there. There's a lot of surface rust down there. I know the lighting's not great, but yeah, it's just kind of crusty. But overall, I mean, it's still a good running fan, and it moves a pretty good amount of air, especially for how late in the 90s these things were made. But go ahead and flip it over here. The information's on the bottom. There you go. Model 223, 2.1 amps, Lakewood. Macmillan motor in it. I don't know if the tag is still on it. I'll have to see. I don't really see a tag. Nope, I don't see a tag. Amazingly, given how crusty this thing is, the tag that says attach enclosed feet from box is actually still there. And so is the speed tag and everything. Knob's in good shape. Handle's a little bit like, it's kind of crumbling, like when the plastic gets too much sun. But it's still there. And both grills are still there. They're in decent shape. This one's missing like 3 slats, and there's one broken that I can glue back together. The back one here actually is perfect. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I looked at this thing. Yeah, the back one's perfect. Who knew? But like I said, these were actually pretty decent box fans. I would venture to say one of the last good box fans. Not really a fan of Lasko pedal blade fans. I think they're all junk, but even from this era, the Lasko D-blades were pretty good. I mean, the one I have isn't a really good example, so I can't exactly call it a fair comparison, but these were definitely one of the last good box fans. But yeah, it's cool to actually have one of these. Again, I went many years without it since that first one got junked, I'm assuming, or whatever happened to it. It disappeared. And when I found this one, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, I wasn't inherently like searching for one, but when one popped up, I couldn't refuse it for that reason. But anyways, I did give this thing a good service, but that was several years ago, so I can go ahead and put it up here and plug it up. Probably the first time it's run in a couple of years, to be completely honest. Stuff over here at my grandpa's doesn't get used all that often. But here we go. See if it's got a startup sound. I don't really remember. Start it up on high. That would be a no on a startup sound. Probably a little restricted being up by a stair here. It's a little tight on the cord though. Yeah, I'm restricting some of the airflow by putting it that close to the stair, but still moving a pretty decent amount of air. it's not a lot of pressure behind the air at all, but there's a decent air movement. Like, it doesn't feel like it's really hitting you that hard, but when you consider how much air is actually being moved, it's not really a slouch at all. And it would be much quieter if it wasn't being restricted. You can hear. Medium. Very nice distinction between the speeds. There's a big difference between high and medium and low. Favorite part about this fan is it's low. That's how all fans should be. Very nice, powerful high. A good medium. It moves a good amount of air, but it's still, you know, it's not like super quiet, but it moves a lot of air. And a nice quiet low, which is a super gentle breeze, and the thing's damn near silent. Which is exactly what this is. It's turning nice and slow. Nice gentle breeze. Can hardly hear the thing. But anyways, we'll crank it back up to high here and we'll do a spin down. Like I said, it's been a very long time since I cleaned and serviced this thing. And it's got a pretty light blade set in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, this is definitely a good fan. Still, it's definitely been used and abused, but it's still pretty functional and it's in pretty good shape. The bearings are still good and stuff. But seeing as though there's no startup sound, I think that's pretty much it for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. So if you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. And anyways, guys, as I always say, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.